It's an absolute marathon, and that's going to test the limits, especially if we can make it to the later stages. If G2 can make it to those later stages, Kenny, yes, he did this yesterday. Liquid will be aware if they watch the demo. Needs to fall back, though, takes a bit of damage, and actually, that one hurts. Down to about 54 health. But pretty slow pace from Liquid altogether, just looking for that mid push. Nitro just threw in that Xbox smoke as well.
Yeah, actually it's for CT spawn, I think.
Ooh.
So they might want to B-split this really quickly, which is going to be a huge problem with Jax there to take down Twist. The fact that they're even on Catwalk, that's an issue if you want to go for that kind of a B-split. They're going to try and do it anyway. I don't know about this one for Team Liquid. Amanek shutting down Nap, and now they're going to try and see if they can make their way up middle, but they have been completely red right now. I think G2 know exactly what's coming. They're going to be running in through the window, through the door as well. Shock's going to be taking down a kill. And now the backup is here. Oh my god, that was a very, very quick flick coming out of Kenny early on. Man, they picked the wrong time to go for that strat, Liquid.
Yeah, they were red every step of the way. That was beautifully done from G2. Jax, an immediate shot. They just lost way too many players before even getting run their strategy. So well played from the G2 defense. And the desk mentioned it, Liquid, not been great from what we've seen, at least in these playoffs on pistol rounds. They have not been effective. Where they have been effective is the force buys, the half buys that come out when the economy is low. 1-0 for G2, and that's the best start you can hope for. And there's Lucky, headshot onto Stewie.
A good beginning for the home crowd is obviously, or for the home team, is what they need. And I think Chad is right as well. The fact that they need to win Dust 2 itself, that's a little bit of pressure, because the best of 5, obviously a bit of a marathon game, but you really don't want to be in a position where the first map has this much weight. And I absolutely agree that it does. So they need the start. They need to make this work all the way through.
It's the younger players on G2 that have to be a factor. When they played their series for the ESL Cologne qualifier, all 3 of the players, Jax, Amanek, and Lucky, were negative kill-death ratio. Negative 5-ish, all around there. They need to be able to step up. We've seen the big games out of Jax at this event. We saw the big game from Amanek yesterday to close out the series against NRG. They're going to need that kind of output from the new players if they want a chance across any of these maps. AKs and Krieg coming out for the Team Liquid side.
Oh, the crowd is really fired up today. I saw a couple of Ray people down there with an American flag. They did get booed, but at the same time, you know.
That's fair play. We're in their house, baby. Stewie gonna get down mid quick. Plenty of presence on Catwalk, and Shock's close left. He used this earlier against FaZe to deny the fast mid play. He can also pounce and get aggressive if there is contact in middle.
They had that really early long smoke on the Liquid side. I don't know if they were just listening for grenades, but all they've been doing is pretty much this, just peeking it out. Although Elige will be able to take down Jax. That's a good way to start this round.
Hasn't forced back the defense, though. Lucky's still here on Catwalk. Shox is still by double doors. He still hasn't moved out of this corner. Stewie just waiting for any information, any sound. And Elige going to rotate back towards long. So Liquid going to aggress upon the A bomb site from long A, and Stewie's going to turn into a lurk. He's going to turn into a late flank on Catwalk if needed. The hard part is, if he does try and flank Catwalk, that's exactly what Amanek and Shox are trying to prevent, and they should be successful in this position.
They are set up in a good position for it. There come the smokes for the cross. Kenny, counter Molotov out, about 40 seconds on the clock, so... And that smoke up there is going to make life really miserable for them. Kenny actually dropped that grenade right down. It does a little bit, not nearly as much as it was looking like. He's going to get the kill anyway. Does get returned. Still a 1-on-3 as Naf picks up 2 big headshots there. Or at least one of them was. Lucky now. And he's not even going to get a chance. Naf with the triple. If he could have got that kill, that 1-on-1 would have been pretty doable for Lucky. But Naf, that's a dangerous round.
Yeah, that really was a dangerous round, but it's good trading as well. I mean, the fight's coming through the smoke, just jumping. G2 trying to make something happen. I think we'll see this a lot. G2, from what I saw yesterday, early in these playoffs on this map, they like to get aggressive into the bomb site and try and swing wide when teams are crossing. They don't like to just sit back on Catwalk and sit back in the boxes. They want to flash, they want to smoke, they want to create an awkward situation to try and take the A bomb site from long for the terrorist team. And they will be in Liquid's face all throughout those executes. AWP on Kenny S. He's got that in the A bomb site, peering towards Catwalk. He's not going to have contact anytime soon. He's Got a 21-5 opening kill ratio on this map throughout this event.
That is crazy. That would, if he can continue that right now, that would be something.
It's plays like what he just made. That push up to get that off angle on Catwalk. He's dropped away from it. He's going to come support long. Jax is here behind the smoke, but this time it's only one Liquid player. It's only Naf. And much like Stewie in middle, Naf is kind of the lurker in this situation, looking for the aggressive push.
Yeah, but being boosted up in that corner, though, it's very hard to peek. If you're Jax coming, if you decide to turn this corner as Jax, you're doing it because you think, well, they're not coming anyway. And it's kind of hard to be looking for that. Might be jumping down, though. See if Naf is going to be... Yeah, he's going to be vacating that part of the map. Look at the push into Upper Dark, though. Nitro, he could have got caught. He probably should have got caught then. Does he want to go for it again? This could be giving up a lot. In fact, Shox is going to have the perfect timing now. They're out in the middle, but Lucky's going to be there with the Orc shutting down Stewie. The smoke is up, but that kill for Lucky is so massive. Now, 30 seconds on the clock, and he's going to have a couple of more bullets left. He didn't go for the reload. That's the bomb drop. Then Shox is in the corner to take down Naf. I don't know, that whole round was on such an edge. That fight, especially the second fight in Upper Dark, that made the whole difference.
I like the response from Team Liquid, though, getting out middle. The problem is Lucky, obviously, with a couple of kills. Even if he goes down, even if he gets traded, he bought enough time for Shox to get back into the bomb site, and you could see Liquid wasn't expecting that whatsoever. So a 3-1 scoreline for G2 off the back of this brilliant play from Lucky. And here I think Elige just maybe blocked by the smoke, blocked by the Molotov, just couldn't get vision. He does a spectacular job. There's your young players delivering 7-1 on Lucky to start this game out.
All right, trying to trace him for the smoke. Don't really want to overcommit to this. There are quite a few people coming at all. I guess a random headshot for the smoke will do in a pinch.
Will do just fine. Some more action for Jax, and he's keeping up the aggression. Kenny as well is a little bit damaged, but with the AWP, shouldn't be too much danger. Worried about Catwalk. But yeah. Here he can peek, he can take whatever fight he wants down into the pit against those pistols. That flick up doesn't land, but it's just a matter of time. So the idea of maybe starting on the T side to kind of set the pace, I think G2's kind of taken that out of them. We've seen it a number of times. They enjoy being aggressive on the CT side. They will go find information, as we saw the push in towards Upper Dark in that previous round.
And I think that is, it's actually such a good feel for G2 that they're able to do it early on against Liquid. Because I could understand if you're a little bit intimidated trying to play that style against a team like Liquid. That could definitely get you essentially smacked down. So they've tried to do it anyway. It has worked out. Now they're ahead, a little bit at least. Give us a taste, Moses. How much ahead do they need to be, G2, before they start feeling real comfortable? On the first half, let's just say like a good first half score for them.
It's the best team in the world. There's no such thing as a good first half score. You don't feel comfortable at all until you get to 16.
They've got to be in the grave.
Yeah, if you start feeling comfortable, Liquid will make that comeback on you. So G2's got to be careful. That's a beautiful nade. The follow-up Molotov as well. Going to burn Twist down to 40. A little extra damage, but this is the same setup as the previous round. Naf boosted up, although with that damage from the utility, not sure it's quite worth it.
I want to say that there were some games that we've seen out of G2 where Jax or Lucky, oh, that's a flashbang and a half. When scoped up, Kenny just can't see that coming.
No, not at all. That's He likes taking that angle as well. I think Liquid will try to go back to that a couple times throughout this half.
I'm pretty sure they have G2 try to push up long, so maybe that's why they keep going for that boost out there. Just saying, you know what, that's one thing we learned about how you guys like to play this map defensively, is actually to push long. So if you go for it, we're going to have just one person there.
Well, remember, Jax did it, twice yesterday in their series? He did it a number of times, so obviously going to be boosted maybe until he spots it just once. There's no defense at this bomb site. I don't know what G2 does. They have the chance to pick up the AWP and just bail out and save. All depends on what Jax can create from pit. But Liquid have to know that it's a long setup, so I don't know if we'll get too much peeking, although Elige is walking up. He should be just a free kill.
I don't want to lose anyone else now. That would be kind of devastating if Nitro went down. They're waiting for that long push, and they've really been waiting for a long time. Such a lot of patience on Naf down there. Twist to pick up the headshot, and now Naf starting to turn the corner. He wants to take them out and just not let them save anything. Jack's going to pick up a kill, but Naf put into play. Easy tap, and somehow still a turnaround. Amanek going to be picking over a kill, and he's got the Molotov as well. Stewie has to fight it. He has to go into the fire and turning around with the defuse kit as well. What an unbelievable retake coming out here from G2.
Yeah, that really is. That second kill, Naf should have had that. He's going to be frustrated that he didn't get both of those frags. It was played perfectly up until that point. As soon as he transitions over to find the second player, disappears behind the wall. That is a stellar retake. I said the young guys had to deliver. They've had a few big rounds. Jax with the opening kills on the pistol. Amanek here with this retake and clutch. Lucky's 9-2. Everything's going well for G2. 5-1, or 5-1.
That is absolutely huge. And you're right, Naf played everything there perfectly. It's just that the guy was standing in the corner. Oh, okay, well, Jax finding a lot of goodwill with that spray through the smoke. And just going to be transferring on down the middle. No access at all for Stewie.
Shox and Amanek do a really good job of working together at that B bomb site, and they'll go check mid together, and you can see they find that kill, split things up, make sure everything's covered in a 5-on-2. Liquid are getting absolutely destroyed right now. They know they're heavy favorites. Best team in the world, but G2's got their number for the moment. And now, if you're these two players, Twist and Naf, you're heading into the AWP of Kenny S. There's the first kill for him. Gonna hide for the moment. Twist's gonna slide out. Spots Jax over at the car. Can't get the follow-up. Nice shot from Kenny. The 6th for G2.
Local crowd really, really loving it early on. Although, again, you really do want to make a distinction in your mind about playing best of 3 and best of 5 grand finals. I think even emotionally, like, if you're G2, I'm glad that they're hyped, and it's good to see that. Just remember, you could have to carry that on for the next 5 hours, you know?
Yeah,
so
it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Here in the best of 5s. First time out taken by Team Liquid for good reason. They have gotten stumped everywhere they've gone. Jax just turning right through the smoke, a sharp angle around the corner. And it's so hard to come back from a 3-on-5. Just pistols for the North American offense as Deagles and P250 picked up.
3 people over 180 are there on G2. It's early on, but still, that's a good baseline, let's say.
No, but remember the desk said, picking T side first match of the day, you get to dictate the pace, you get to set the pace, kind of set the tone of what this game is going to be like and how you want to attack these bomb sites. Well, G2's ripped that away from them. That's no longer an advantage at this point.
That is so many grenades thrown into Longhouse, and Stewie's there sort of listening to all of that. And you know they're going to have the money to probably to buy them again unless you do a lot of damage with the pistols here. So that kind of takes the idea of having a really fast long push. Or it doesn't take it away. It makes it really risky. What do you want to do then? If you go catwalk instead, you're probably going to run to Kenny's AWP.
Yeah, it's not an easy option. The real tough part is that so much has been shut down. The only round that Team Liquid has won was that 3rd round when G2 still had SMGs. They've shut down mid to B split even late in the round. Now a chance to shut down an A hit, although this time it is with pistols. Naf has dropped into the smoke. He's got that kill on a Lucky. And with that frag, there's no one to keep space. Naf now gets taken down by Shox. Bomb will get planted. I just don't know how you hold on to this. Only Deagles, it's going to have to be some incredible shots.
Yeah, we need a couple of miracles at least, and Kenny gonna take away Elige. That leaves just Twist and Nitro with a Deagle. Oh, actually, Stewie gonna pick up 1. A little bit of a tag coming in. He's got the space for it. He's gonna get the headshot, but he's also alone against 3, and they're all gonna run him down. I don't know, a moment of potential panic there for G2.
Not really panic, but yeah, there was an idea of danger from Liquid if some of those Deagle shots early on had connected. Still, 7-1. The plant's going to help. A couple kills for the Liquid side. Money isn't spectacular on G2 despite the lead. This shot was gross. AWP on Stewie.
Well, let's just see. Oh, walking in front of each other in T-spawn. Should make a big difference here. They're going to be very, very quick up the catwalk. In fact, Lucky, he's kind of looking for it. Oh, is he going to put in the grenade? I don't know. Seemed like he had the idea that it could be there.
I think you called it. I think Liquid counting the number of grenades that went in towards that long cave, they just said, why would we even want to mess with that? Let's just go get catwalk control. If that many nades are coming out, it's at least 2 players. So we can at least get to the stairs. Question is, what can they do with it from here?
Look at the setup in B if you try and peek that. If you're coming in from the T-side tunnel, that's just not going to end well, is it? Flashbang will do something, but if you just try to peek it... That would not be cool. Bomb outside of long, and after putting in that smoke there, Nitro's gonna be going away, so he's gonna know that in like 5 seconds that smoke won't be there anymore, and yeah, they're gonna have to hit this bomb site earlier than that.
Well, gonna give it a shot. Jax is at the long corner, Kenny S on the cross. You can see the rotation as Kenny comes over towards long. They want to hold on to this part of the map, and that smoke is so brutal. That's gonna hold things off. And I think Nitro or Naf, one of them is gonna have to go through that.
Running the clock very low at the moment. Lucky's down there in CT spawn, and he has a Molotov, so let's see what happens if they try and plant for short instead, because they're not going to have many grenades left to try and put any kind of a fire out. Jax does get overwhelmed. Now it's on Kenny. He's the only one at the bomb site right now. They dodged that first one. Oh, Deagle almost gets the double. And Lucky, yeah, he's not going to want to go for it. Waiting. I think he was trying to get there in time to help out, but as soon as Kenny goes down, yeah, I wouldn't blame them if they try to back on out. So Liquid going to be picking up a second round finally.
That's a very good hit, and that's nothing special. That's just literally just waiting for the smoke to clear and taking the fight. Jax caught a little off guard, it seemed. Just holding that angle, and obviously with the attack coming from Catwalk and the attack coming from Long, there's just nowhere for Kenny to go. He had to get aggressive on Long and try and find an escape route. Shox made a call to say very early on, which is smart. Kenny's going to be able to rebuy the AWP.
It is funny, isn't it, how much that position at the long corner by the car changes from when you have a teammate in pit long and you don't. So like that, in one moment you're like, this is great because if they run out Catwalk, I can get like sometimes 2-3 shots almost for free, and they can't really do much to punish me. But then as soon as you lose your teammate, and you're like, oh, I'm in the middle of nowhere and there's no coverage anywhere. I have to try and fight your way out. 7-2 though. And the money for G2, in spite of winning a fair few rounds, only really Amanek and Shox with anything in the bank.
Ooh, this is going to be fast up Catwalk again, so they're going to get this, but it's even faster into B tunnels. This time, Shox and Amanek, they waste no time getting in. And they have so much information already, but unfortunately, there's still only 2 players on the A side of the map, and the amount we've seen Naf boosted up to watch for this exact push, not happening this time. But
there's a timer on this round with Shox, isn't there?
Well, he's going to at least kill Naf. You have to imagine that. There's no information that Shox has made this push happen. That's a big frag to get because they might lose one of this flank, so they need these kills. Anything that might prompt them to push the envelope in terms of the pacing.
Shox, when you have this much of an opportunity, you really don't want to mess it up. He's not going to be seeing him behind the door yet. Maybe the gun barrel, I'm not sure. There's an opportunity. Kenny. Big kill on the other side to take down Elysia. Now Shox is going to be having to take that fight. He obviously wanted to wait the longest time possible, and he's going to, with the help of Jack, win the follow-up kill there against Naf. And that should shut it down. If they come out the middle, it's going to be Amanek waiting inside of the B-bomb site, and actually Kenny stopping the bomb.
This is what you need to do if you're the underdog and you're trying to win this. Look at how aggressive and dynamic they've been, and that's a creative push so fast. The unexpected. Team Liquid gets caught completely off guard. It's a big, big risk to make a double push like that so quickly into upper B tunnels, but you can see what happens when it pays off. And Liquid there, not a single person watching for that.
No, Liquid were trying quickly and were kind of quickly taking Catwalk again. Still trying to stay away from Long and all the grenades. That's gonna really hurt them. Kenny with 14-3 to begin with.
Team Liquid is averaging right around 2 kills per round. This is not a good start in any way. Obviously, by the scoreline, that's obvious, but just in terms of some of these rounds, they haven't even been fighting for. G2 has been dominating them on this Dust 2 defense. And they haven't even brought the double op setup. They've relied on that so many times throughout this event. On Dust 2, they especially like it. They like being able to put an op in the B bomb site and just be able to rotate fluidly at middle and back and forth. They haven't even had to switch into that yet.
Still a potential ace up the sleeve if they want it. It does change the the dynamic of the game a lot when you have to run into that on CT side Dust 2. This time, pretty quick in the upper, pretty quick in the lower, in fact. Just maybe trying to catch anyone who was going to be down there. Let's see. Looks like they still want to go fairly quickly here. Flashback in. Luggies, no chance at all. That was really well done.
That's been the point of the map where they found their most opening kills. Remember, they got one just like that, a pop flash to blind Kenny when he was taking a very narrow angle, and they found an opening kill that way earlier in the half.
Not bad at all. Speaking of Kenny, gonna get flashed out of the corner. Does nearly fall. He almost doesn't make it back. They were trying to hunt him down. He would have had a little bit of backup there in Jax as well. But now with a 4-on-5, Liquid plenty of time. They're going to be going out the middle. And it's going to be Jax showing up with the AUG. Oh, why was the bomb being thrown?
He was dropping it to Nitro as Stewie with the AWP, so it's not a huge deal. It didn't distract anything, didn't cause him to get killed, but it does give away the game a little bit. They wanted that mid-B split, but it's a double. An awkward peek from G2 and Stewie. He gets the benefit. A little lucky in his favor, but Almanac still at the back of the bomb site. If they use a Molotov to flush him out, they would absolutely have to. I think the head has been spotted. Yeah, they knew it the whole time. And now Shox in CT spawn has a decision to make and how he escapes. Would love to find an AWP for Kenny. But it's going to be a third round for Team Liquid unless Shox can pull off some of his magic.
Yeah, almost would have to be some kind of a ninja defuse here, right? They're going to come and check, actually. They're looking for him, even though he's hiding fairly close to the bomb site. You could tell that Naf is kind of aware. Now they definitely know. Picking up the AWP would be great if he could make it out with that one. Drop it over to somebody. Maybe drop a gun to Lucky as well. Oh, but not going to happen. Liquid with a third round. And really well done. I mean, basic flash setup in the middle, obviously. Stewie, anytime you could, you know, just spend a single bullet. Worried about that carbon imprint, Moses. Being sure, you know.
Yeah, he's being green. This was, I mean, it's a little bit lucky, right? It's almost like, yeah, it's great for that Liquid wins this, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck to go your way, but that's not a peak you're going to get too often. Kenny S and Jax both sliding out at the same time. A bit of miscommunication there. The nice thing for Team Liquid, that might actually be a 2-for-1. All depends if G2 is going to decide to go for a save. Almanac can actually drop a weapon over, so they might choose to force up. They're right on the edge. They've been smart with their money throughout this event, which is not always something we've been able to say about French teams. Their economic management hasn't always been the greatest historically. With this kind of a lead, they may think to preserve, but instead they go for it. Kenny with the AWP. AUGs are coming out. Some SMGs are back on the board as well.
That kind of economic thinking even dictated like a whole era of global offensive where it wasn't that people didn't know what they were doing. They actually just actively said, no, it's actually better if we just keep fighting. Like the French teams would do it intentionally, like the first 5 rounds. They'd say, we always just want to fight for the first 5 rounds, pretty much no matter what. And Kenny taking a fight out long, he is gonna just immediately evacuate. Doesn't want to stick around, although this is a bit of a dangerous position. He's ready to catch someone down the pit. He could have got caught then. And he did not have anyone backing him up either.
Well, this is a new spin on things because the defense for G2 is actually situated towards Catwalk. And look at this. They just give up the position. They're going to start pushing forward. Look at the theory here. Don't defend the bomb site. Just push up and find a way to flank. Jax is so aggressive at the base of Catwalk. And yeah, they're walking up long. Alicia's got to be careful, but Kenny S is covering him. And now this is so dangerous. There's going to be so many angles for this retake very, very quickly once this bomb gets planted. I don't know if Liquid will be able to read the timing because Jax is about to turn the corner right now. Stewie with that AWP, he's got to position himself, but there's nowhere to go. Liquid have to take control of long. This fight determines the round, and it's gone to Jax. I don't think there's a way for Liquid to get out of this. Twist's going to get aggressive. He does find that. Stewie's inside the site still, but there is 2 Molotovs.
Oh, that somehow is not a kill on Kenny. And that's going to be a really big problem. Coming down and long again, another flank, even after they took out the first one. Stewie holding the line right here. It's a 2.
Oh
my
no!
God! I can't believe it! How did he take down Shox? Didn't even look like it was anywhere near him. Now he's got a bit of a chance. He actually does a little bit more damage. Now the pistol's out instead, and Lucky gonna try and run him down, but they can't make it. Stewie, what have you done?
That's so insane. That shot, that round should have gone to G2. They played that so well. They deserved it. And Stewie rips it right out of their hands. That one shot onto Shox is so unbelievable. The reaction speed. He probably can't believe it.
That's like that. I don't know what's happening. I just don't know.
Well, Kenny S did tweet him that clip of the of Kenny's flick yesterday on Dust 2 as well, so maybe Stewie trying to show off a little bit himself. Kenny S is 16-4.
Do you think Kenny meant it as, you know, a sort of intimidation and actually was just teaching instead?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
More like inspiration for Stewie.
Well, think about how much this changes the game now. This is such a turnaround. And now they have this AWP on Kenny. They're out of money. Liquid could suddenly have, I don't know if it's going to be a great first half, but it'll be fine. It'll be acceptable. No, you get this 5th round on the board, it's a completely open game.
That is a massive swing. What a beautiful clutch from Stewie. Lucky is pinned up against the smoke and the fire. Just a USP. And Stewie's going to be in lower B. They want to take this op away from Kenny, yes. They're tired of letting him save it. Now would be a huge benefit if they could find it, and Kenny's so low, right around the door. Doesn't have a whole lot of places to move. Is going to push forward, can't hit. Actually does hit, cannot kill Elige on the flick. Triple kill for Elige in the round. It's 5-8 as Liquid mount this comeback. 4 of the last 5 going in their favor.
Yep, a real turnaround here in the first half of the grand finals. And you kind of already alluded to them. You really can't let your foot off the gas here if you're G2 before you win the map. Like that's the point where you say, okay, we did it. Now we can focus on the second map. Anything before that, and well, this team being the best in the world, you know how much they're going to be fighting. Let's see. Timeout about to run down, and that is, I think, the last bit of cash that G2 are going to have here. Does actually mean maybe the long option will open up again.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid can now kind of start opening things up now that they have a momentum, some success to base things on of where they've found success. They can start to adapt around that. Fast into upper B, and a lot of this is just playing around the AWP of Stewie. He's given it a lot of time early on to go to a position on the map. Look at this fast mid-B split. Oh, they almost just turned right into the AUG, but he's going to hold the angle. There's Kenny. Yes, the smoke wasn't perfect. Elige finally takes him down. That puts so much pressure on Naf and Stewie in upper B, though. Elige is low HP, and he cannot be the point of attack. He's got to just watch for the flank. Molotov onto Almanek. It's burning him. He's going to burn alive. Now they have the entrance in, and now Elige's position gets powerful.
Yeah, this is not a perfect Molotov to be throwing at that point in time. Elige, 1 kill here in the middle would do it. Then they would probably be winning the round right away. G2, all of the money invested into this round, they need to make this work. Get out with that 10-5 and still maintain a pretty good lead. But they're not going to go check the middle. Instead, they're all going to try and retake it from the other side. And look at who's sneaking in from behind. Elige, even low on health. He wants to see that they win this round. Oh, the timing is just so good. Taking down Kenny and Lucky, and Jax has got nothing left. That's a high-level play from Elige.
It really is. You need to hard clear that early stages behind those doors in those lower tunnels if you want to prevent that from happening, or send a couple players on the flank. But Hage was just waiting so patiently for his teammates to call it utility is being used for the retake. It's a perfect flank. An even better Molotov into the upper B bomb site. Elige had to do so much this. Remember, he traded off the initial kill of Shox, who was just holding mid so well, or excuse me, Jax.
Well, that is going to take us to round number 15. End of the first half. Not the best weapons to fight with here for G2. Could still be done, of course, but maybe a trick. Jax? What's going on? He's just waiting for it, and Nitro so ready.
God.
Kenny, though, you don't like to see that.
No, you don't. Kenny did not expect that whatsoever. Nitro going to lead the way now. Team Liquid looking to end this half very strong. They've picked up the aggression level. They're no longer being slow-paced, taking control, and just waiting for utility. They're actually been attacking the whole later stages of this first half. It's been 4 in a row. Liquid probably going to end on 5 in a row, and 6 of the last 7. Lucky is so desperate. He's not going to get anything done. It's just Almanek, 1 versus 4. He's got the first kill, would have to have the ace. There's the first step. Still a long way to go. He has no kit as well, so time is a factor. And Naf is flanking from middle. That's going to be it. That's the first half of these grand finals on Dust 2. It's G2 leading Team Liquid 8-7. But Liquid is surging back. We're heading to a break, and then we'll have the second half.
It's a super open game. I think they're going to have to fight very hard for this now, G2.
Oh yeah, that first half really came up and creeped on them. It's what I mentioned. You can't ever kind of just go to sleep. You have to keep fighting the entire half. You mentioned what's a good score for G2, and it's like, well, Team Liquid's going to find a way to come back into this, and almost on the verge of tying it up. But these pistol rounds have been tough for them throughout this event. Twist going to get that first shot. He's sticking around going for more, but the P250 is so powerful. A great trade, and now the A bomb site is open. Stewie's going to creep in early.
Look at the choice made by Kenny, saying, actually, I don't want to fight for long. I want to hold middle, make sure no one's going to come catwalk. That's a lot of information to play off of. They know there's someone down in pit. Stewie sneaking in, silenced with a USP, running up with a headshot, and he's going to get one, but Kenny and Lucky, great with the returns. Naf is going to pick up one more, but that bomb is already ticking for quite a while now, and Kenny finding a hard time, and now he's alone down here. They do have a kit on a leash, but there's Naf defusing for 10 seconds. Kenny, can he make the jump? He's got pretty much one chance, and it almost happens. He is so low on health, Naf defusing that. That could have worked out.
Look at the margins in this round. If you rewatch that and you watch Stewie creep up along that wall, it's like a millisecond before he would have been spotted, before he would have been tagged, before he would not have been effective coming up that ramp. As it was, it still had to be an incredible shot. It still had to be a first one, and that's Naf as well. One of his own. He's got 20 HP when he hits that shot, and the follow-up fight as well. Beautiful work from Naf. He's 12-9. Having a pretty good game so far. He's up there with Elige at 12-11. Stewie's 10-11.
Yeah, and I mean, the ridiculous thing is it could even just be Naf warming up, for all we know. His level when we get up there is, again, really, really fun to watch.
I can't recall that we've had like one of the NAF rounds in this event so far.
No, not really.
We've had Twist. We've obviously had Stewie and Elige.
I don't know for sure, but it feels like sometimes watching him play specifically, it's like he's sort of feeling the game out, and when he knows that he's in the right zone, then he just starts to, then it's like he gains a bonus 25% extra performance for no reason. And it is a lot of fun to see. Now, they do have some rifles to work with here on the G2 side. They've been having the bombs around T-spawn pretty much the whole round, so I think they were actually hoping that Liquid would make a mistake, over-peek into one of these AKs or one of the scouts, and that has not happened, so... Now, instead, timing is so good for Elige, and smoke means they can't even really chase him down. That's a pretty nice kill to get early on.
That's a very, very free kill. He's even going to back up along that ramp towards the A bomb site. As he saw them jumping up towards Catwalk, he knows the idea is to come towards this A site. They can still adjust. Although they don't have a smoke for a mid-B split. They can do the reverse one that we know they like doing, but they're just going to go for it. There's the all holding the angle, and Naf actually misses his opportunity, but he's got Twist and Pit, and he's got Elige at the railing as well. Molotov to force him into the open. That's great for the AKs. Flashbang into the sky, but Naf doesn't commit. He's got one. Elige going to stay alive here at this A bomb site as reinforcements come in, and now he pounces. That's beautifully done from Liquid. Great teamwork on the defense.
Really staying safe, and I think really... abusing the fact that G2 did not have a lot of grenades to force them out of these common positions, so they could just stay and fight at those headshot angles for a really long time. Amanek, time has run out, so really can't be going down, and he's just barely going to stay alive.
That was so close to being a disaster.
Still, 9-8. I think Elige with a triple in that round. Now, we said Naf haven't had some of those really mental games. Elige had.
Yeah.
Like, really.
That series that he had against Astralis is probably... I think it'd be hard to find a better series that he's played in his entire career.
Yeah, I really think that's true. It was wild as well, because even when they were getting beat up, he just didn't. He was like, no, I'm just going to continue.
9-8. Timeout from G2, although they cannot invest here. No bomb plant in that previous round, and need to just save up for the AK-47s. You obviously want to get Kenny S on the op. He's 18-9. He's having a phenomenal game. It's Shocks and Amanek at the bottom. Kind of lagging behind a little bit. Nitro for Team Liquid as well with only 5 kills.
It'll be fun to see what G2 could do when they start to really pick up the rifles. Still a little bit early on to explain or talk about how their T side is going to be here. There are, I mean, in a way, even though it's been played for such a long time, there still are a lot of options on Dust 2 that people can mess around with,
Well, even though it's been around a long time, I mean, the game, the way that this map is played, a lot of it is on those mid-round decisions because you can change your attack so easily and so fluidly. A lot of it is just about reading the rotations and what you have and kind of reacting. Shocks is waiting to lurk in upper B. He's got armor and a deagle, and I'm assuming he's just going to try and catch someone off when that smoke clears as they rotate away. Maybe come in very late, but they have to have success.
Oh, no.
That's not success. That's a team kill and a slaughter. And Shocks is feeling very lonely. He's not going to get anything that he wants. 10-8, a 2-round lead for Team Liquid.
Do we dare call for a replay in front of the French crowd, Moses? You know, there could be some risk involved. I don't know.
It's 8 rounds in a row for Team Liquid now. They have grabbed complete control of this. 9 of the last 10.
Here we go. Amanek. Well. Who are you blaming that?
Not really a whole lot you can do there, is there?
Who's got the, who's going to be paying the insurance for this one?
Yeah, I don't know. That's actually a tough call. Kenny not going to stand on the Molotov. Doesn't want to take the damage. Backs away quickly. Did want that shot. Almost had it.
I feel like if you're the guy pulling your vehicle in front of the other guy and then he bumps into you, it's your fault.
They've got to get out, though. They do have to get out of that choke point.
Okay, well, anybody working insurance, don't contact me. I don't want to know you. It's round number 19, and I don't know. I want to say it's the first real challenge, but at the same time, they do have their Mac 10. It's not the end of the world, but they're also missing some grenades. Still, let's call it a real chance here for G2. They need to shut this down for Liquid. You said 8 rounds in a row. That's too much. That's
way too much, especially considering they've had in this game. They're going to feel like they've lost so many, and this is a pretty dirty offense. Although Kenny we saw him peek this just the other day. It was a really powerful peek. Twist is going to go right into it. He heard the footsteps, wanted to get involved in the action. That puts pressure on Nap. He's got to go forward, and he goes forward into that Mac 10, so it does work. Nitro, Stewie, and Elige away from the action. They're going to see if Elige can create anything on Catwalk. He's got the first headshot. Going to go for more. 3 flashbangs and 2 kits to work with for Team Liquid if they want to commit here.
There's a Molotov there, unlucky as well, and they have no smokes to put it out, so... Oh my god, that's another really great kill, Stewie. Some of these shots that they're hitting on the Liquid side are just so absurd, but they don't have the health really to take this fight. It is a bit of a bonus round for them. You saw that with the UMP with the FAMAS out on long, and I would say, even though Nitro is doing a fair bit of damage, it actually is going to help them out a lot. They're still not going to get close to winning this round. Holding long with a FAMAS is just not I wouldn't accept that job, Moses. Somebody called me, said, listen, we've got like we're sending in a resume. Or what am I going to be doing? You're going to be holding long with a FAMAS, like in the middle? I didn't know.
Yeah, you're just out?
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It'll be a lot of pay, like.
Twist does get some very difficult roles in this team, and I mean, he usually is equal to the task. That one's tough. Kenny, one of the best stoppers in the world, covering the corner.
But also I think he was hearing the footsteps of the players in front of Kenny. So in his mind, he's probably thinking, and maybe rightly so, if I wait, they're gonna run me down. So I should peek them while they're running, and then
it might have been something where he just didn't want to there was gonna be a flash around that corner, right?
Yeah,
there's no resistance if they're running that fast. Surely there's gonna be a flash, and just not wanting to wait for it. Either way, a good round from G2. They finally put a stop to it. Ooh, Stewie's gonna do the same thing, but they've got Amanek watching it. That's a great shot. Do they want to risk the second player? They do. That's Nitro. He sticks around very long, and now he might find an opening if he wants to continue pushing.
Yeah, but I think Amanek saw that. Did he? That would really be worth knowing, because if he did, then that's confirmation of 2 players. Maybe even the aggressive push is enough that he could maybe guess that there were going to be 2. Good grenade. Does a lot of damage there. Kenny, a little bit softened up already. Twist trying to see if he could find a gap between the fire and the smoke up here on the bomb site. They're getting very close. They're right in front. Nice return from Jax. Didn't actually see where that happened from, and now Twist is going to get the kill on him. So still a 3-on-3, plenty of time, but oh! They had to get that kill. If Elige goes down, the bomb site's lost. That might not have been the flashiest kill, but probably that was one of the more weightier ones.
What a hold from Elige. That is an important triple kill. The main force of that attack gets stopped. I think Elige is actually the one who took out Kenny too, who was a huge point of danger for Twist.
Yeah.
Once he goes down, once that attack on the bomb site goes down, I mean, all you really have is the flank at long, and you have the player flanking CT spawn. So many people on the flanks, and there was nothing to distract the Liquid defenders. 21 kills on Elige to start out these grand finals.
Yeah, he wasn't satisfied with having sort of one of the best games of his career. He's like, why don't we make one of the best tournaments?
Maybe? Now he wants that MVP.
Well, he's really the top candidate right now, isn't he, Moses?
Him and Kenny, you have to imagine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If G2 end up winning this, then Kenny, I don't see how you could argue that. Well, Twist going to be moving into position. Elige does have a flashbang if they want to try and set up for that kind of a peak, but instead, as they're thinking about it, the call gets taken away from them as G2 try and push out the middle, and Stewie not even the least bit impressed. Going to be shutting down Shox and Amanek both, and now he's back for a little bit more, helping out his teammate. Nitro will get a kill, and Stewie does get tagged in the end, but still, there's not going to be a bomb plant in this round. Jax, CC in his hand. Oh! Okay, Elige put to sleep. That was a nice shot. It didn't change the round.
No, not at all. But yeah, was pretty cool.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, art has a place in this too, Moses, you know?
Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aesthetics, you know.
Yeah, you like the flashy, the fancy stuff.
Sometimes, like not all the time. You gotta have a balance, I think.
Balance in all things. Nice double kill from Stewie. 12-9 now for Team Liquid. And this has been a long time for G2 to not feel like they've had a whole lot of success. That run in the early part of the game had them flying so high. And you mentioned it, as hype and as excited as they were getting, you know that's going to happen. You have 3 young guys on a stage. You have Kenny and Shox, who haven't been back on a big stage in a big grand finals in a long time as well. Kenny has been very public and open about the fact that he's been emotional with this kind of success that they've had. And now it's just not sustainable when you go on a losing streak of this magnitude.
149 ADR in Elige. It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, look at the score. I mean, not that everyone else is doing badly on Liquid, but just the gap between them is a little bit outrageous. 12-9. Liquid, a lot of traction. Elige going to continue, and they just get crushed down the middle. Jackson, lucky. Didn't even see it coming, did they?
No, not at all. What a great call from Liquid. They've been getting aggressive on their CT side as well. We just saw the push in Upper Dark from Stewie the previous round that didn't work, or 2 rounds ago. But then you see this aggression on Catwalk from Elige, and now if you're G2, no matter what you call, you probably feel like it has to be a little slow, because you have to be mindful of that aggression. So those fast tactics, I don't know if we'll see one in the next round. That might be something where no matter what they call, just live for the first 30 seconds.
Ooh, they've got out long. Now, if Amanek could just stay alive down here, the grenade is going to give it away, and I think that might be the... And, oh, Elige turning around. Oh, somehow does not win the fight. I'm confused.
He's even got Naf in support, which is funny. He jumps up and actually negates the fact that he's got a teammate there, but now the op is in position.
This is winnable.
It is winnable if they can get this bomb down. It is Shox and Kenny as well.
They almost didn't throw it far enough, and now they have to wait a bit longer. There's going to be a double push down long and a single guy on Catwalk. Let's see how this plays out. G2, if they want a chance at winning this map, this round would be a big one to do it. And Kenny, the leg shot, is not going to do it. Stewie jumping right on top of the crosshair. And now it's on Shox. They have a Molotov for him as well, so if he stays here, it's going to get pretty hot. Tries to go for the fight, but misses the chance and forced into the second one against Naf. And Liquid will end up winning it. That early fight there from Elige. Again, seeing some BMs. Not on camera, Moses, but...
No, it's Naf. So he's starting to get into it as well.
Were they doing that before the defuse?
Yes.
They were taking...
They were doing that before the defuse.
Time away from defusing to shoot the corpses and then back to defusing. You have to like that.
Yeah, you definitely do. With
Look
the
at
fire
this.
and everything, this is art, Anders. This is what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into the very strange, art genres. The type that usually, you definitely can't bring your kids to. It's going to be round number 23. Liquid, I don't know, they've really woken up now. I would be worried if I was G2 at this point in time. Jack's going to be making that run down the pit. This is something Chad had talked about a lot, and I think showed us a whole video of how well this works, and it very nearly did it again. That's close.
Elige is going to get one more off Catwalk. Shox with his knife out at top mid. Not expecting it whatsoever. Elige 3 kills with cat aggression in the past 2 rounds. And close mid. That's going to be 1 kill. Traded off immediately. Stewie just couldn't see it. He was looking up towards Catwalk with that AWP. And they know that Nitro is the other B defender, so they're going to try and get in and beat him here. But he's got back as they come out of the smoke. Nade out. They know his position, and lucky. An immediate headshot. Nitro maybe trying to do too much, but bomb should go down.
Yeah, but Jax he's miles away. If they're quick on the retake, he'll never get there in time. He's probably thinking about flanking somebody, but he has to get there right now. And I think he may have realized, running down the middle, Liquid, they're backing up right in front of him, so now they know, and that is going to be very confusing. I don't know what they're going to make of this. If you're Liquid now...
You go for it. You just go in. Naf running over to the B bomb site, but Elige has the first kill. Naf's got to be careful of his flank. Time is running out. Elige, how does he want to handle this? He wins the battle, and now it's all on Jax. He's been slow. He's been patient. He was taking so long, and Naf has him around the smoke. What a tough position for both players, Naf and Jax, to have to manage. But it's Jax whose teammates go down, and it forces his hand. That's a 14th round for Liquid, but it's so close.
That actually ticked over into to the explosion queue there. That was very close. 14-9. I don't know. I would have said they would have lost that round because Jax was going to show up too late, but that weirdly Liquid doubled back and saw him.
Naf spotted him. Yeah, Naf just checked everything. I wonder if maybe he was making a call to save and then realized there were only 2 players inside the bomb site. And
that's what it felt like to me. They looked like they were about to fall back because it wasn't just one person. It was a couple of people that were sort of starting to run back, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that. Here we go again. Another attempt at this play, which we know G2 loves, and this is how it's designed to work. That's how we've seen it work in the past. And finally, G2 gets some success. They're 5 rounds back, and they must start now. They have to capitalize in a 5-on-3.
This really has turned out to be sort of the pit magic trick, hasn't it? Like, there's just a little bit of a puff of smoke, and then suddenly there's somebody in pit killing your whole team. It's outrageous.
It's a roll of the dice, those flashbangs. They're relying on everyone being turned. Stewie has a chance to bring this round back in their favor. He stops shooting. A little bit blind, didn't see the follow-up players coming in. Naf and Nitro won't even budge at the A bomb site.
Those 2 players, Amanek and Lucky, they were standing on top of each other, weren't they?
Yes. That could have been a multi-kill, a big multi-kill for Stewie.
In the back of my mind, I was suddenly, holding my breath a little bit. Well, let's see. That's going to make it 14-10. What's the money like on Liquid? It's not great. Naf's got a lot of money. But that's it.
If they keep these guns,
Oh, they're probably going to buy, right?
I would think so. Naf can drop 2, and I think Nitro might be able to drop a weak 1 if they need it.
But surely the best road back in the game to win the map here for G2 has to be taking the money away. So 14-10, if they win this upcoming, what we assume is going to be a buyout for Liquid, then they could maybe bounce up to like 12 because they win the next round at 14.
We'll
11,
see. Yeah, this is the best chance they have of getting back into the game. They have to crush them right here, take all the money away. 10-14, but a chance to close the gap in a big way for the French side.
Absolutely is. I did enjoy the moment when they walked on the stage and were getting hyped up and the crowd was just booing Liquid. And I
enjoyed that as well.
In my mind, I was thinking Liquid must just be thinking, yeah, just wait and see.
You saw the smile on Twist's face when they came out, though. He knew they were going to get booed. So mentally prepared for...
But that motivates you, right? You're like, okay, fine. If it's going to be like that, we'll shut it down.
Seems like it could for this new Liquid swagger that we see lately. Nice shot from Jax. Yeah, 16-9, an opening kill going the way of G2. But no one at long. Liquid's not worried about long whatsoever. Twist and Stewie and Nitro, all 3 of them going to crunch on mid, but the B hit is where it's coming in, and no one's inside the site. They need to rotate back in. Stewie's going to get there. There's an AWP on Naf. That's Catwalk.
Look at Shox with that very late look inside of middle, and as soon as they lose that, Nitro is just trying his best. They do a lot of damage. But again, Shox, he's so late in middle that anyone trying to do much is probably going to get caught. And actually, he might be hunting for them now, and that would be amazing. Any rifle taken right now from Liquid could have a huge impact on the end of this game. Might not seem like a lot, but...
Oh, it's massive in the grand scheme of things, and G2 won it. Kenny S and Jax already in T-spawn, less than halfway into the bomb timer. They're on the hunt very early on. Twist and Naf have a fight ahead of them, but if Naf with this AWP, he should be relatively secure. It would have to be a pretty stunning shot from Shox or Lucky. Flashbang just to get him off the angle. Smoke to close the gap. Molotov deep in to make him uncomfortable. We'll see how he handles it. Waiting for them to come through. Lucky's now swung over to Car. Flashbangs. Twist goes down. It's all Naf, and he's not going to get the follow-up kill. Deagle's out. Kenny's low, but he's got the kill. And they've got the up now. We mentioned that was the biggest potential for G2 to get back into this. And they've struck successfully. No money for Team Liquid. Back to pistols. A 3-round gap.
I feel like that was less about taking out Naf and just trying to figure out how many grenades can we fit into pit. Like, when is the limit? When does it get filled up? They just kept tossing stuff at him. Poor Naf. Not gonna be enjoying that. Oh, slight frustration, maybe.
He got caught in a really weird fight coming out of the flashbang. Oh,
no.
My God! But that's not a weird fight whatsoever. He loves that. 3 dinks with the USP, very quick, and Jax goes down. Stewie's gonna remain aggressive. He wants that gun, and G2 knows it. But everyone from Liquid is backed away from Stewie. There's no one else at the corner as Twist, Naf, and Elige fall back towards mid.
I really would like to see G2 stay grouped up in this. You know they have the USPs. You just heard that. Couldn't really be any mistake about it. So, Shock's down the middle. He can obviously take care of himself with the AK, but if they give up a rifle now, that would be a big problem. Shock's going to be winning that one against Elige. Sees a second player. If he sees a third, that's going to give confirmation that they pretty much know where the rest of the team is. Stewie down in pit, going to get boosted away. Oh, nice shot. Not bad, not bad. They seem to control the situation. No need for any panic at all.
That was very disciplined and handled perfectly from G2. So patient after that initial kill goes down. They're not going to lose anyone else. Twist is at long A at Car. They're going to back away from that. And they are playing the buddy system, staying grouped up in groups of 2.
Yeah. What do they want to do in some of these upcoming rounds? I feel like one thing that got called by G2 that they sort of figured out was Elige and that forward catwalk play.
Yes. Well, he's done it. He got so many kills off of it, and then he went back to it a 3rd round in a row.
Exactly. So probably, I'm guessing we're not going to be seeing that exactly, but G2, what do they want to do? You sort of mentioned earlier that if you're getting pushed a lot and there's a lot of aggression, maybe you want to start some of these rounds a bit more slowly so that nothing gets out of control. But you also got to be careful that you don't fall into too much of a rhythm. Oh. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, well, and, I mean, even the slower pace helps Kenny. Gives him plenty of time with the op to find a pick to get into position. We're going to have investment out of the Team Liquid side. Naf can actually afford the AWP, which we've seen him on a lot in this half. I wonder if he's going to switch that up. No, he's not.
What was that guy doing in the crowd? Was he like drinking soup? Was it like liquid soup? I don't know.
I have no idea. I didn't catch it. Maybe trying to do some whole thing like drinking liquid tears or something like that, or I don't know.
I want to know now.
Wasn't the best execution.
Or maybe it was and I'm just not getting it, but I liked it anyway. I think it was good. It's a lot of Photoshop material right there. Round number 27, ladies and gentlemen. This game, I mean, Liquid they've looked rock solid. After a bit of a shaky start, they've just looked so good, and really feels like G2, they have to consecutively come up with some sort of a miracle here. Stewie, oh, I don't know how he wasn't watching that. He was the only B defender, and he must have been looking away at the wrong time. Elige charging in behind the flashbang, and he is still going to get shot down. And look at that over on the other side. Shocks. He's ready for them again. 2
things are really hurting. You mentioned G2 now knows what works. They found this hit towards the B bomb site. They've been taking that even when there's 2 players in. Team Liquid has been really lax on the defense. They've been focusing elsewhere. They've been shifting those defenders out and back in. This time, Stewie just doesn't think they're going to come through a smoke, which is why he doesn't have that angle. But that B bomb site is open for the taking. And then the next follow-up from Team Liquid, they love doing this, and they've done it in the past. I don't know if G2 had researched it, but obviously well prepared for it, is the follow-up flashbang through that smoke in the doors and get like Elige or Nitro, whoever's supporting the B bomb site, in quickly during the chaos to see if that flashbang catches, 2 people blind and he can recover for the team. But the problem with that is you're dedicating people to it, so then you lose so much more.
Yeah. Well, then here's a piece of guesswork that someone smarter than me will have to figure out. But if you're Stewie and you've gone down a couple of times like that, if you call for backup, and let's say you say, okay, listen, guys, I'm going to need like an extra player in B, someone else stay mid or whatever it may be. If you make that call and then they swap their attack to no longer be that kind of a B attack, but let's say instead they go a bunch of people catwalk and that's where you needed the resources, it's not going to feel great. And I feel like Stewie's got the confidence to not do it, but that's like a game within the game that's always happening.
I'd like to see if you're going to make any adjustment on the B defense, throw Naf in there with the AWP. Put him in the platform, don't smoke off the tunnels, just put the op there and play 2 rifles outside of B. And if Naf gets smoked off from a G2 smoke, then you can rotate somebody back in. But overall, let them do it. Let them come back if they want to go up against the AWP. And you can see the frustration on Stewie.
Oh. That was a mind-blown moment, wasn't it?
That's like a, why are they just walking through the smoke?
Yeah.
Either way.
Stewie, the one person in the world who's not allowed to ask that question. Forever.
Well, this game has been runs, huge runs for each team at various times, but down the stretch, 13-14.
No! I think that failed. Yeah, it's supposed to go to CT spawn, and now it's not there. Naf in position with the AWP, but yeah, they had to throw that smoke late. That failed. That's thrown from T-spawn. The flashbang is still going to get the job done. G2 having to improvise in the middle of the execute to try and make up for that failed smoke, and they still somehow come out alive.
A scout and an op defending the B bomb site. There was nothing Stewie could do. Anyone with an M4, anyone with an AUG. Obviously a small investment out of Liquid. But a rifle would have been able to help and would have been able to keep him pinned down. Shocks his dink, so he can't go on a hunt anymore. Twist desperately wants to save this M4. They absolutely need it. Nitro and CT spawn. Almanac is brought low, trying to hunt this down. Good kill from Elige from above. He's flirting with 30 kills in this game. Nice nade. Doesn't matter, it was just a pistol. Twist is the one they want to keep alive. And no one else is going to pressure.
Nitro should have gone for that Freiburg shooting the grenade moment, you know? Try and get that to be a popular thing.
We're all tied up. Going into round 29, it's 14-14, as unlikely as it seemed to at one point. And the nice thing for G2, they've been so dominant. 4 players over 10,000. They have no economic issues these last 2 rounds. AWP on NAF again. 3 AUGs across the board for Liquid.
In fact, surely Amanek is not going to be having a Mac 10. Like, buy an auto sniper, buy another AWP.
I think he's going to do... the only thing I think of was that he would be that long player leading the way. We're live into the round. Jax is going to be the first one. Stewie gets tagged on the cross, which is not ideal. Jax is going to be the one. Back turn, does he want to come through the smoke? Liquid have seen this. There's one in the pit. They didn't even check that. Elige gets caught unawares. And how much more do they want to dedicate? Twists right behind that smoke in the fight, looking for Jax. Stewie's brought down low, but look at mid. Mid is under attack no matter who wins that battle. It's B once again to be the end game for G2.
Am I having a stroke or something? Why is he having a Mac 10? He's got 12,700. They're out the middle. If this works, then I guess he's just much more of a genius than I was expecting. But now it's a 4-on-4. We've got over a minute left. They're trying to see if they get up the catwalk and get to that A bomb site. Bomb now being picked up by somebody else. Naf with a leg shot. Is it going to be quite enough here? Twist long range. Another headshot comes in, taking down Shocks, and that grinds everything to a halt here for G2. I'm so confused.
And nobody peek. They know Kenny's still on the board. Nobody peek. Watch the cross Twist. The op is scoped in on it. Now Twist can cross over. He sees the jump. He wants to get close to the bomb site. Can't get caught in the open. How wide do they want to swing? Kenny misses an important shot. Lucky can't take that fight, but Twist has now found cover. Defending into this bomb site while his teammates come over. Stewie on catwalk and Nitro coming from CT spawn.
He's got an HE. Lucky, I think, yeah. Oh, he somehow lives with just a couple of health. This might just be all on Kenny. He turns around for it. The flick is not going to be connecting. And Lucky, he does not have the fight or the health for this kind of a fight. It's just not going to be possible. Instead, quad kill there by Twist. Especially the first 2 kills were so good. And that's going to put Liquid at 15 rounds.
And he even caught Shocks, who had that awkward flank. They threw out the mid to B smoke to make it feel like B was going to be the end game. They were trying to set up. The fact that they could take B so successfully so many times, they wanted that mid to B look to be really, really worrisome, cause a rotation, and Shocks would be there to pounce.
Get all the snipers out. This is going to be the 30th round. You're not going to be saving any money.
Auto snipers.
Yeah. I mean, unless you have a planned rush, there's going to be one of them. Amanek, love it.
Maybe that's why he bought the Mac 10. He wanted to have the auto sniper for this round. Maybe
Moses,
he was doing the maths.
You're going to make that a popular thing. I'm going to be playing... Oh, Lucky. Running right through, almost catching Nitro. The follow-up, it's just in the back of the line. Stewie, and he misses the shot. Strokes coming up with a big kill. If he hits that, no one else can follow him. They have to stay out of the smoke. Now Elige trying to flash his way through, but that's going to get shut down as well. And this just might be overtime in the first map of a best-of-5 grand finals. Twist and Naf. 2-on-4. I don't know how you could even dream of making it into this bomb site. Surely this is an impossible retake.
It must be. They have no flashbangs whatsoever. They have nothing to use. They're going to have to come through fires. They're going to have to come through Molotovs and nades. And it's any second now. They do have 2 kits. And here we go, Anders.
Amanek waiting down behind. Just more grenades. They can't do anything. They just want to boost, and they can't even get the boost to look over. It's a good idea. The no-scope not going to work, thankfully. And it's going to be overtime, ladies and gentlemen. 15-15 between G2 and Liquid on map number 1. I mean, let's be honest. The way they did that at the end, again, it was the weakness of that B bomb site, even if there were 2 people on it.
That's everything that allowed G2 to make that comeback happen.
And we talked about artful and aesthetic Counter-Strike. This wasn't it.
No.
This was, you know, blunt force, just just make it work somehow, and it does.
Yeah, this was brute force from G2. I mean, you could see a couple things. Obviously, taking the B bomb site over and over, and yeah, that is mounting frustration. Stewie has had so many awkward fights at that B bomb site. They've come through smoke on him. They've come through Molotovs on him, and he is so tilted. Elige, I mentioned he was flirting with 30. That was in round 26. It's now, he's still got 29. He hasn't had a kill in 3 or 4 rounds.
And G2 just wanting to bully this B bomb side if they can. Grenade is going to be slowing it down and over it long. But, I mean, once you have this psychological advantage against a couple of B players, you can use it for almost everything, right? You could pretend that you're doing it again and then just end up somewhere else, and that might even be effective. So, let's see. What do we get here? The crowd certainly back behind G2 once again. Those grenades, again, to those B players, and they've even brought a third person. They are so tired of losing this bomb site.
They absolutely are. I wonder, G2 might walk right into it. They might get caught in the trap. They've been calling the bluff. I mean, they've run basic strategies at this bomb site a number of times, just saying, we're just going to repeatedly take this, and if you want, you can rotate someone over.
Look at Long.
Calling the bluff. Everyone's going back to B. They're going to come right into this stack, and this time, no one's going to have to pop flash a leash through a smoke. He's going to be right there, and his teammates, theoretically, will still be alive to distract while he comes in.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about an impossible retake. This shouldn't be doable at all. There are 3 people waiting on the other side. A narrow choke point. They have flashbangs. They can set it all up. The flashbang there for Stewie is just perfect. That hit 4 people. Every single one of the tunnel couldn't see a single thing. Now 25 seconds, and they get the headshot entry. Where's the rest of the backup? They're not going to be there in time. Nitro with a massive spray gets the last one too, and shuts down the entire French lineup. He was the only one left. Everything else had failed.
He should have never had to do that. You're exactly right. Credit to G2. They almost made that work. They're just going right at Stewie, and he has not responded yet. He is getting crushed at this bomb site, but Nitro, what a hold. 11 kills in the game. None more important than these 4 in the first round of overtime. That is stunning. I mean, fair play. The stack worked in a way. G2 did not expect a third player to be there.
Sure. Yeah, you might be right. By the way, Nitro had 11 kills. Shocks, not back around the container. Gonna get himself killed by Twist. But Nitro had 11 kills before that. That quad kill put him at 15. That's kind of nuts as well. Smoke up, flashbang, no timing for Kenny. I really cannot believe that after the first 2 kills, even if they didn't expect the third player there, that's still kind of
well, the second player they killed was Elige, and Nitro's been the secondary B defender throughout this CT half. Perhaps not just acknowledging it quick enough. Either way, a 5-on-4 in this round for Liquid as Shocks gets over-aggressive and long, but again, it's grouped up buddy system. Almanac is out mid, using those smokes to lurk in towards CT spawn. Multiple players dropping. Nap's going to get a tag on 1. Now it's Elige who's called upon. He's got the first spray transfer over. The AUG is so good. Kenny drops down. They're both in spawn, though. Where do you go from here? You have no bomb. You've given up all position, and it's just Almanac in a 1 versus 4. He's going to go down to Nitro. A 2-0 scoreline in overtime. Magic number is 19 overall.
By the way, if we are looking for clues for why G2 like that B bomb site, obviously it's partly because they've been able to make some of those entries happen. But I have to imagine another reason why is because Elige is on the A bomb site and he is just cracking down on them every time they show up. It's ridiculous. So
yeah, it might be a good thing to notice. Is just saying, oh, Elige has 31 kills. Let's not go to him. He's been on catwalk. He's been in mid. We saw him ineffective at the B bomb site as well. But this was great. Before this, he'd had 2 kills in 7 rounds. So it's good to get him back on the board. He's cracked that 30 kill margin in this opening map.
Yeah, and I mean, when they go B, obviously, he's going to have a harder time being part of the action, I guess. So.
Well, yeah, and every time you get involved, Stewie and Nitro have both just been dropped at that B site before. Like, they're not even delaying. They're just getting killed immediately. So for Elige, the best fights he's found is pop flashing himself through a smoke.
That's 2 rounds in the overtime here going to
I like
Liquid.
this from Stewie. I like this. Change it up. If you're having a tough time, go back to the AWP. Try and throw him off a little bit, almost with the flick, and just going to bail out. Does he want to get aggressive behind that? I think he might.
He so wants to. It just plays so well to the psychology of what kind of player he is. He's sort of being bullied and says, okay, well, fine, you know. And try and see if I can double up on that. Very few grenades left on the Liquid side, and quite a few more for G2. So they've actually been successful in luring out a bunch of these grenades. I'm not sure how that's really happened. There's only one smoke on Stewie, and that's it.
Well, they've started just dumping their nades in B for no reason other than to stop and delay attacks. Nitro and Elige are grouped up around these smokes. This would be a huge crossfire. Elige has to be honest and check towards Catwalk, but Nitro's going to be under so much pressure. Turning for a flashbang. Shox is just going to walk around it, though he does it silently. Nitro somehow gets the kill. Almost sprays through. Stewie in the back of the bomb site. Another frustrating, another tough situation for him to deal with. How do you manage your attention? He must hit this shot immediately. He's got it. And the collateral, the damage onto Kenny as well, who's gotten up, who does not want to be the aggressor to take over the bomb site. And that's it. This time, finally, Stewie put a stop to it. And he's got a third in the round. 18 rounds for Team Liquid in overtime.
Yeah, they bullied him for a really, really long time. And finally they're able to put him to, or he's able to put them to sleep there. They need one more round here. I mean, this is just so well done for Liquid.
To fight all the way back and now have this disparity at overtime is tough. G2 cannot make a single mistake. And remember, they started this game out, I believe it was an 8-1 run, or 7-1 run to start this map. A dominant defense, and they're switching into that double op. Redemption in the round for Stewie.
Yes, indeed. See if we get double overtime here. Liquid need to win. Oh, sorry, not Liquid. G2 need to win 3 in a row, and
look at this. Nitro's fast pace. I don't know if it actually pulled them out of the B bomb site, but if Shox goes down here, this round is over. Oh, he does win that fight. That's huge. Almanek can stay in the B bomb site. He's got the up, missed the shot. That's the opportunity they needed. A couple seconds to get a little bit closer. Utility's out, and Almanek can do nothing. And now G2 must fight their way back into this bomb site.
And that's going to be nearly impossible. Shox being very low on health. Kenny asking him, can we get a boost over? See if we can get one kill in before anything else happens. The bomb, much delayed, is finally going to be going down. Jax with a very long flank all the way through T-spawn. How could they do this? Retaking B is just so tricky, even when you have the man advantage. Grenade will do a little bit to Elige, but this could be the end of the road here for G2 as Stewie shutting down. Jax getting a little bit of revenge, and now 3 versus 4 and spraying through Shox. It's a bullet away from death, and that timer really, really quickly ticking down. It's going to be Naf with a kill on Kenny, leaving Lucky and Shox, and yeah, they're going to run all the way out here. It'll be Liquid picking up the first map on Dust 2 in overtime. 9